think. Because she had all the body positions and right, she was set for the next move, but she just couldn't hang on. Fine effort though.
That's it, 15 metres and 60. And we join Nanette Raybaud of France towards the end of her climb.
She's a very strong climber. She actually won the World Cup last year, so she's certainly capable of winning this competition. You can see she's very, very thin and very light, which is an important ingredient for all three climbers, men and women alike.
Interestingly enough, she's a sculptor by trade, lives in Marseille, and as you say, won the World Championships last year, 27 years old.
Yeah. She'll be professional now, I'm sure. She won't be doing too much sculpture unless she's doing it for fun. She's got very good footwork, and she's very, very smooth and controlled. She doesn't shake or sketch around too much. You can hear she's got the crowd behind her, being French.
Where's she looking now, do you think?
She's just trying to rest, trying to relax herself. It looks as though she's seen the next move, because she's not looking around too much, so she's fairly confident she knows the next moves. And sometimes you can't quite see above there, so it looks quite obvious. She looks quite tired though, maybe she just can't quite hold that hold.
Ah!
Yeah. She looks a bit tired there. Again, she fall off because she was looking quite pumped. Nearly had it though. On a lot of these climbs, you just run out of steam and you just can't pull any more. And if you were to sit and have a rest just before the move, you'd do the move okay.
Yeah, you use this term pumped. It's a weight training for terminology that, of course, overexertion with a muscle group will, of course, pump it up, and a lot of lactic acid around, and it just ceases to work eventually.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Isabelle Patissier, 24 years old. 10 years she's been climbing from Lyon, and despite wandering up and down these very difficult walls, she likes driving fast cars, and I can understand that.
Yeah. Isabelle is from she's from a family of climbers. I think she's been started climbing when she was 5 years old. Both her parents climbed, so it's in her blood, as you'd say.
She seems to be moving quite quickly here, doesn't she?
Yeah, the bottoms of the routes often tend to be not too difficult, just so the climber can get into it. You don't want all the climbers falling off at the bottom, so they usually give you a chance to sort of relax yourself and get into the momentum of the climb.
And just to remind the viewers that, of course, Isabelle Patissier was one of 2 women to reach the summit on the first of these on-site climbs. So if she reaches the top here, then she'll be in a very strong position.
Yeah, she'll be very, very psyched up and very determined to do well in this competition, because it's the biggest French competition of the year. She's going to be putting everything into it.
She was 6th in the last World Championship.
Isabelle climbs very, very beautifully. She's very precise with the feet. All the moves tend to flow together. She doesn't make too many dynamic moves.
Well, we now pick her up 2 minutes later.
It looks quite a bit steeper here, so she won't be hanging around so much. Get a good shot of the small finger holds there, just hanging with 3 fingers.
Seems to be perfectly in control, doesn't she?
Yeah, she looks very relaxed. That's how she always climbs. She climbs very relaxed, very smooth. She finds the moves very well. Having a bit of a rest here, I think that's where Nanette was, just hanging there shaking out. So she's obviously got a difficult move here, because this is where Nanette fell off. Let's see how she can do it. Oh, great. Didn't have any problem there. But she's going to have to move quite quickly because it is very, very steep here. You don't get an idea of how steep the rock is from this angle.
She looks a little bit taller too. Is that an illusion, or is she taller?
No, she is. She's about 5 centimetres taller than Nanette. She's about 5'10". I don't know what that is in metres. She looks very good though. She looks in control, very calm. It's important to stay calm on these things. As soon as you start panicking, your muscles get all tense and you get pumped even quicker. So it is very, very important to try and stay relaxed, even though you don't know what moves you're making, and you can be making mistakes. So.
What are our options here then?
I'm not really too sure because I didn't do the route. Here we are. Oh, that was a good move. She's just going to go for the summit now, I should think. Looks quite near. So there we go. She's climbed this very, very well, very controlled. She hasn't made any mistakes at all. One more move. Oh, that's excellent. She'll be very pleased with that. She made that almost look easy. She'll be very happy.
Just to remind you, she has now had 2 summit successes, and must be the favourite for the moment anyway.
Yeah, she'll be very happy with that. It's always great when you get to the top of a route. And she's cut her leg a little bit.
Well, next up was Lynn Hill of the United States, the other young woman who reached the summit on the first of these on-site climbs. This is the second on-site climb. No practiced climb, just to remind you, in the women's competition here. And this young woman very seldom gets beaten. She climbs very close to men's standard. Jerry, she's very strong by the look of it.
Yeah, she's incredibly strong. She's only 5'2", but being very light, she is incredibly strong. She can actually do one-arm pull-ups. So that's quite rare for a woman. A lot of the male climbers can do a one-finger pull-up on one hand, but for a woman, she's very, very strong. She was actually doing gymnastics when she was younger. I think that helped her quite a lot. But she really is incredibly strong.
Well, she's going well at this stage, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And now we pick her up on the overhang.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
It's difficult to see when you're going around these things because you can't get your head over. So you can usually see 1 or 2 holds up. As you get round there, you can see a few more holes, which helps. And she looks very calm. She does have a problem being so short. It's a good thing she is so strong because for most people at being that height, it'd be almost impossible to get up the climbs that she does do.
Actually, just looking back to May last year, she took a very bad fall in Beau in the south of France. She fell, but her fall was broken by some trees and she made a tremendous recovery. Now, that's not just a physical recovery, I would think, but a psychological recovery too.
Yeah, it's a miracle that she's even climbing again, really. When I heard where she had fallen from, I thought, you know, anybody falling from that distance would certainly be dead. So it's amazing that she's even climbing, let alone coming back to win competitions.
Yeah, she ended up with a dislocated elbow and a broken ankle on that occasion, which I suppose was a little to what she could have expected, as you said.
Yeah, she was very lucky. She fell about 25 metres into a tree.
Some would say that she might well have won the world title instead of coming 5th if it hadn't been for that accident.
Yes. I would have thought that she would do, from her record, because she's so often wins competitions.
Well, coming towards the end of the climb, and that looked quite a useful move there, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, she's doing a good job, but she's going to have to move quickly now because it is very, very steep, and once you stop on these things, you just get pumped again. Excellent.
Well, that was a very powerful bicep curl, wasn't it?
You could see both her feet are off. Both her feet were off the rock there. Because she's that much smaller, she couldn't stretch to the footholds. She'll be happy with that. She didn't make any mistakes there, and she climbed very, very well.
Well, so we've got 2 women at this stage of the competition to the summit, and the crowd settling down for what should prove to be a fascinating final. Well, let's have a look at the positions after that second climb. Lynn Hill and Isabelle Patissier, both to the summit on both occasions. Welcome back to Bercy, Paris, and this wonderful stadium. And this was the scene which met Isabelle Patissier, the French heroine. She was first to go in this super final. And what a final in prospect. Well, Jerry, the bottom, once again, is it the same climb?
I think it's on. This is a little bit further on the right-hand side, so it's going to be different. This is the same start as the men's on-site in the final route. So this is pretty much the same start that the women are having to do, and they've changed some of the holds on the top to make it a little bit easier. But it's still very, very difficult, so this bottom is actually what we climbed.
So what difficulties will she encounter here?
Well, none really. You just have to stay very calm. The bottom's not too difficult. As you can see, the angle's not too bad. It's not too strenuous, but you do have to stay calm. If you start panicking, your feet will start slipping around. And it's more on your feet. Once your feet slip, then you fall off immediately. Whereas when you're on more overhanging rock, your feet can slip and you can still hang on because you've got better handholds. So you just have to stay very calm, not move too quickly. But she seems to be making it look pretty easily. She doesn't seem to be having too many problems there.
It's a very confident start, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. She's climbing very well. And the crowd will be quite psyched up now. They've been waiting for this for a long time. They've been in there for about 10 hours as well, spectating. So it's a nice final for them. You can see how steep it gets up there, so she'll be enjoying this while she's on it, because she knows she's got some hard work above her.
A little bit of indecision and then a positive move.
Yeah, she'll be trying to sort of get some sort of rest here before she goes up onto that overhanging wall, because as I say, once you get on that overhanging wall, you don't have very long to hang around. So you try and recuperate, get all the blood back into your arms down here, and then as soon as you get on that overhanging stuff, you really have to go, and you have to climb very decisively and aggressively.
I suppose when you climb aggressively, there is more of a chance for error, isn't there?
There is, because you don't have as long to look at the moves before you do them. When the angle's lower, you have longer to look at the moves. You might have 10 seconds to look at the moves, but when it gets very steep, you don't have any time to look at the moves, so you just have to keep going, and when it gets like that, you can get crossed up with your hands.
Yeah, it's not just a matter, though. I'd have thought of sort of seeing them low down. I mean, surely you've got to look over the top to see where the hand holds are. I mean, the potential for looking above must be limited.
Yeah, well, you can't actually see over the top of the holes, but you get an idea of what will be there. Most of the time, you just have to go and hope for the best. That's a good move.
So is there an element of luck in this, then?
Not really, because you have to make yourself lucky. You have to make luck, as it were. You have to assume there's going to be a good hold there. If you make a jump for a hold, and in your mind you're thinking there's not going to be a hold, then you'll fall off. So when you actually jump for a hold, I always assume it's going to be good. So you always hope for the best, because if you're going for something which isn't there, or you think there's nothing going to be there, then you're going to fall off. So you have to be confident and calm, as well as aggressive.
She certainly seems to be going well, but is this a problem?
She is going well, but she's doing a good job. She's looking a little bit tired, and she's been climbing all day, and it's quite late at night, so that's going to have some effect as well. But she's finding all the right holds. She's doing a good job. Climbing a little bit quicker now.
Well, the crowd seem to have relaxed a little bit, don't they? And now putting in their support.
Yeah. It's always nice to hear the crowd are behind you. Well, she's looking good at the moment. And she's not got too much further to the top. She can just make these next few moves.
Are we at a difficult part of the wall here?
I should think it's going to get harder as you get higher, because they don't want both climbers to do this, because they're going to have another sequence. Whoa! And now, well, I'm not too sure what happened then.
Well, she certainly didn't expect that, did she? She seemed to be in control, and then it went, and she looks a bit upset about that.
Yeah, she won't be happy with that. I don't know what happened.
She just lost her grip. She actually had the hold.
I think her concentration went just for a second. Her concentration went for a second. I think she just she thought she could hang on the hold.
Anyway, that's the target, 13 meters and 80 for Lynn Hill, who we catch up here just about 2 minutes into her climb. So she's gone over that relatively straightforward bottom part and now starts to come to the more demanding part.
Yeah, she could see her just looking up there, trying to sort of get some sort of idea of how hard the rocks climb's going to be.
Any idea whether she's taking a similar route?
She seems a little bit further to the right than Isabelle was here. So actually no, she's coming down again. Perhaps she'll go left. It's very difficult because you just do not know what is coming up. You don't know whether you're supposed to go left or right or up and down sometimes. It is very difficult when you're on site, because you just don't know, how good a handhold's going to be.
Well, she's having a good look there. She's not sure, is she?
No, she's not sure. Well, you never are when you're on site, so that's it, she's found that hold, that's right.
Now, the problem of transferring weight across now, has she?
Yeah, she's got to get right and get onto that overhanging wall. So, because there's no holds out left and there's nothing out further right, so she knows she's got to go sort of trend right and go straight up. And all these moves are going to, of course, because she's that much smaller than Isabelle, are going to be a little bit more different, so she's going to have to find different footholds to reach the handholds that she has to get.
Some generous applause from the Parisians here.
She's very well known in France, because she comes over and wins a lot of their competition, so they do like her over here, and she's a very, very good competitor, a very good sport.
Look at the strength in her arms. I mean, she was sporting all body weight on that bicep curl again.
She put many of the boys to shame. She really is incredibly strong. She's climbing very well now.
Can we make comparisons as to where Isabelle reached on this?
Well, Isabelle was quite a bit higher. She's got quite a long way to go. So Isabelle got quite a long way up there. She was only a few moves from the top, so Lynn's going to have to climb very, very well to even equal where Isabelle got. She seems to be climbing on form. She's climbing very well. She's finding all the right handholds. A little bit indecisive there. She's not too sure where to go. And she'll have another look around.
Strong movement required from here.
Yeah.
Well, we join her now.
Ooh.
2 minutes further on in the course.
She nearly fell off that move. That was superb. Looks very, very difficult here. Absolutely desperate. She's having difficulty even clipping that bolt. She looks quite tired. She's got a little bit of a rest there. She's stemming out on her feet, but it is so steep you really don't get any chance to recover at all. So it may look like she's resting, but I'm sure she doesn't feel too relaxed. Only a few moves to go.
I just sensed that her arms were shaking there under the strain. I mean, they really must be pumped up now.
That's one of the signs. When you start to get tired, your whole body shakes. You can see her legs are shaking a little bit as well. But you're not too worried about that. How you look when you're up there. You just want to get the thing over and done with. She's relaxing a little bit more now. She's looking a little bit better. She's got to get across to that hold. It's obviously very, very difficult for her. She's got to push across on that left foot by the looks of it and go across left. There we go. Oh, she's got it. Excellent. That was... She must be absolutely exhausted now. Oh!
Well, the crowd responding to that movement. Let's have a closer look at it. She slipped away. The left foot seemed to slip, didn't it?
Yeah, the left foot seemed to go. She was... she must have been absolutely exhausted then. Even to get that height is incredible. So I don't think she'd be too unhappy. She didn't make any mistakes, and I think she was just a little bit tired there.
Look at that right foot. The right foot was there.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the weight on it.
Yeah.
Well, as we watch that again, 14 metres, 0.19. Let's have a look at the final result. Well, Lynn Hill did enough. Look, 14.19, ahead of Isabelle Patissier of France, 13.8. Just a metre or so, less than a metre between them. Two of the world's great climbers celebrating a marvellous occasion in Bercy.